Hi there, everyone. This is your full moon reading for July 23rd or 24th, depending upon where you are within the globe. And I just want to say how amazing the energies are right now. It's pretty powerful. I'm guessing that the planetary influences are really high right now. And I know that there were quite a number of amazing things happening. So if you're interested in looking into the astrology, I listen to a couple of people, one being Pam Gregory, and I just love listening to her rendition of the astrology. It's fabulous. Um, and I yeah, if there's anything, I do have a newsletter that I subscribe to from a wonderful person named Pam Youngin, so another Pam, who's out of British Columbia, Canada. So I'll put in the links at the bottom for both Pam Gregory and Pam Youngins for you to check out if you're interested in the astrology, because it definitely has a lot to do with what we are feeling and what we are seeing, as well as the readings. So let's get right into it. So the two decks that we're going to be using today will be Moonology, which is by Yasmin Boland. So this is fantastic because even though it may not actually come out to say it's a full moon, if any of the cards might come out to say it's a full moon or new moon or whatever the case may be, it may not actually come out to be the exact moon that's happening right now, but the message is usually pretty bang on. The next deck of cards that we're going to be using, we have one card out of this is Colette Baron-Reid's Enchanted Map Oracle cards, which I have just received in the mail, actually, because she's doing a retreat called Oracle Palooza, and I'm going to be joining that this coming weekend. So with the Moonology cards, the first card that we have, once again, I pick the cards and I don't look at them until we look at them together. So is Surrender to the Divine Full Moon. So, like I said, you can't make these things up, but basically, this is a lovely way of looking at the way things are right now. Surrender to the moon, full moon. So, I'm going to look this up in here. Sometimes I find that it's hard to it's hard to find some of these messages. But as you know, I do look into the guidance cards or the guidance book. I always read from it just because I find that the books were created for a reason, and I definitely want to bring that to light because there may be some messages that are in there that are actually very applicable for today. So I'm looking into the full moon, and somehow it's always escaping me. There we go. Okay. So surrender to the full moon here. Surrender to the divine full moon. The very word climax brings all sorts of ideas and images to mind. Agreed? But it really is the feeling of this card. Life is coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or a turning point. There may be some kind of change and possibly even some sort of emotional explosion. Tune into your emotions now and see what they're telling you. They're very likely close to the surface, no matter when in the full moon or the moon cycle you've pulled this card. Matters will soon conclude, and you'll find out whether or not your wishes are going to come true. The odds are in your favor, as this is a positive card, but you may need to work harder than usual to keep cool as events unfold. Attune to the moon, I am getting the answers I need. Additional meanings for this card could mean, and these may be specific to certain people, a wish you made may be about to come true. It's a make it or break it time. There could be a sense of madness in the air. Breathe deep and stay calm. You may need to forgive someone to release negative energy. It's time to let go of the past and move on. I'm getting that basically all of these have something to do with a number of people. So hopefully this rings true for you. The teaching. The full moon marks the climax of the lunar cycle, making this card something of a power card. The full moon is often the time when answers are given to questions asked during the new moon, and pulling this card at any time in the lunar cycle suggests that answers will be coming your way before too long. Now, when it says surrender to the divine, it just means that basically the divine has all the answers. We have the capability of tapping into those answers if you trust your intuition. So, although at this time there are likely going to be quite a number of things happening in the world that will draw our attention to, they're asking in this when this card is brought up to actually go within to put the focus within yourself, because at this time, with everything going on, there are massive changes, possibly disruptive and eruptive changes that could be going on, especially with the way that the planets are influencing and basically moving at this time. The way that the moon is very close to the planet at this time, the planet Earth this time. So many things might come up. But what this is basically saying is trust. Trust that your intuition is going to guide you, because the divine and or the universe, God, creator, spirit, uh, whatever wording you use, is there for you and is there guiding you. This is also a perfect card for the full moon and the what it really represents. Letting go of the past, letting go of what no longer serves you. And we have been doing that. It's almost as though we've been in a full moon for every single month since 2020. But basically, this is important. There is a certain mode of acceptance that is happening. So accept that change will happen, and that change is happening on a very large scale right now. However, discern what changes you would like to accommodate within your life. Having said that, there are so many things that are happening that are influencing us from the outer points of view, the globe, the environment in the world. And at the same time, because they are influencing us, they're also forcing us to think differently, to change our perspectives on every aspect of our lives, whether it's relationships, our career, or the environment that we live in, so our homes, the countries, everything, the politics, the climate, everything is changing. And because of that, it may seem so chaotic. If we look within ourselves, we have the answers as to what questions might come up for each and every one of those topics. And that's what this is saying. You have the answers within you. In time, those answers will be revealed. And the timing is very important for this week and for this time within the year. So keep in mind that everything has to resonate for it to actually occur. The vibration, the energetic vibration. If you want something to happen right away, the energetic vibration has to be at a particular critical point for it to happen for yourself. So if that is with regards to a relationship or a job or something that you're really looking forward to, just be patient. Keep going the way that you are, and or allow yourself to meditate upon some of the things that you're doing so that you can gain a higher perspective. And at that point, the answers will slowly come to you, and they will come to you for sure, even though it doesn't seem like it's going to happen right now. We're going to go on to the next card. And it's also through the Moonology deck, and it's called A Time to Give Rather Than Take. New moon in Virgo. So, a time to give rather than take. This is lovely because there's basically a balance. There's a balance between giving and taking, giving and receiving. And this is basically saying that we are at this critical point where we need to actually give compassion to the world. I believe that part of this is saying that it is compassion that we're in need to give to the world. And I totally agree with this. I think the more that you can, the more compassion that you give into the world, the more love that you can give into the world. And there is kind of a recipe for that. If you are, because we all have this capability of doing this, you have the intention to send the energy of love within the world. If you take a few moments to basically sit in a nice location, a quiet location, take a few very deep breaths, belly breaths as we call it. So you breathe in through the belly and into the lungs, and then you release all out through the mouth to relax and focus on the earth. What I do sometimes is I will actually visualize the earth as I see it in pictures. And love, basically pink energy, my love, just how much I love this planet, and shedding it to the world, just basically allowing it to flow, almost like the Care Bears. If you remember the Care Bears, yes, I know it's dating me, but anyways, Care Bears, they used to shine these beautiful lights out. Well, basically be a Care Bear and shine the light out into the world. And that's how I send love into the world. I might also go in with specific people as well, but the more you do that, the more the intention is there, the better it is for the world. And the more of us doing this at the same time, the more potent that energy is. You'd be very surprised at how potent your heart energy is in comparison to your brain. According to the Heart Math Institute, our heart basically outputs 5,000 times higher electrical impulses that are 5,000 times higher than our brain. So when you actually think through your heart, you are really powerful. The two work together. Don't get me wrong, they work together, but basically that is very potent energy. So reading through this, A Time to Give Rather Than Take, a new moon in Virgo. When this card comes up, it's time for you to take stock of your situation. Where are you and where do you want to go? The new moon energy of this card suggests a restart, and the Virgo energy suggests that you make that restart a clever one that's simple and well organized. Virgo also has a strong health aspect to it. So if you've been unwell, this card suggests that your health is on the top. Virgo loves clean eating and alternative therapies. So add these to your routines now, however you've been feeling. If a situation is blocked at the moment, it could be that you're overanalyzing things or being too critical. It's time to ask less what someone else can do for you and to think more about what you can do for others. This is about being in service to the world. Attune with the moon. Recommit to healthy morning and evening routines. Additional meanings, which may actually be very applicable to certain people. Gradual improvements are coming. Pay attention to detail if you want success without being pedantic. Be of service to others, and love and money will follow. Or the person you're asking about is reliable. The teaching. Virgo is the sign of health, service, and analysis. Its energy is precise and has a feel of the harvest about it. When this card comes up, it could be that a wonderful bounty is coming your way. However, the energy of the new moon in Virgo is usually about getting your life in order. So that's what you need to do at the time of the Virgo new moon and whenever else you pull this card. So getting your life in order. Well, what's interesting about this particular time and how it relates to the way that the globe is working is that there is a lot of chaotic energy out there, and it is coming to a head this week with the planetary influences. From what I understand, it's a pretty crazy well, full month actually, of high and potent energies. And this week, because it is around the full moon does bring out a lot of emotion, could be heightened in some emotions that may or may not actually be very applicable to compassion. But this is urging you to bring in that compassionate energy and thinking of this, of how you can be in service with others, or to others, rather than expecting something in return, expecting to receive something. And a lot of us are caregivers, so this actually could ring true for every one of us. We kind of know what to do when it comes to that. We give a lot, and a lot of times don't expect anything in return. In this case, this is urging everyone to look in that situation, so that when you're giving it from the goodness of your heart, basically from all emotion that is in the loving, compassionate way, not in any anger or remorse, or anything that could be in a negative emotion. And even though this is not a new moon, the full moon does bring out this culmination of things. It's basically the end game of certain aspects within our life. So it's saying now is the perfect time to prepare for something new, to get organized in your life. So maybe declutter, maybe get rid of some things within your environment that you no longer need, or that you can donate. So again, in service to others, you're donating, but also to give services to others, to give that emotional support, because there's a lot of people that may actually be in dire need of some emotional support, and more so in this particular time period of the new moon or the full moon. So this week and into the next week, because the full moon has quite a bit of energy surrounding it. So keep these things in mind, especially just knowing that things might be not so great on the outside, maybe seeping into the inside as well. But keep that focus on, okay, I'm just going to shake up the energy within my own life, in my own environment, to get rid of things that no longer are necessary, or that I don't need in my life anymore. And then leave that for the new energy to come in. And the new energy always brings in abundance. The universe always brings in abundance. So, for example, an example of the material, if you decide to let go of a bunch of your clothing and you donate it to, whatever charity that you would like to, whether it's church or donation places like Salvation Army and all those places, then what you're doing is you're giving to others without the need or desire to get anything back. And at that point, you may actually have somebody call you up and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm selling a clothing line. Would you like to do an exchange?" Or something like that. So it's just saying that the timing is right for your services to be given to others, and expecting nothing in return, but guaranteed you will have something. It will be either a thank you, a hug, a smile. It could be material goods, it could be money, it could be anything. Just in this case, don't expect anything and just be surprised. So the last card that we have actually for this full moon reading is through the Enchanted Map Oracle card, and we have the Field of Dreams. Aw, so sweet. We've got some beautiful fairies that are sitting on top of these beautiful eggs, Field of Dreams. So nice. I just think they're adorable. So through the Field of Dreams, your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are always engaging the vast field of pure potential. This is the perfect time to harness the field of vast potential not yet realized in your life. Great abundance is yours if you're willing to do the work alongside the gentle gardener. Be clear about your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Concentrate on your best life, regardless of the temporary outer conditions imposed upon you by the greater world, which has its own story to tell. You have a basket full of seeds that are quite powerful, for your talents are divinely inspired and will indeed lead to a great harvest to be shared with others. You will reap what you have sown. Dream big, dream beautiful, take action, and tend to the garden of your life and experience the extraordinary. Now, I'm going to read you the opposite version of this card as well. It would be if the card was actually pulled upside down. It's called reversed. So I'm going to read that part as well because it might actually resonate with some of you. Are your dreams your own, or are they really someone else's? Have you chased money, possessions, or prestige? Have you placed security above fulfillment? Has approval seeking played a major role in your motivation to succeed? This is the time for you to assess the validity of your dreams, your talents, and your willingness to be a channel for inspiration and creativity. Don't be afraid to enter the field of dreams, for you can always clear the ground for new and better things to grow. Nature has a way of self correcting if you're willing to act with authenticity. The power to create is inside you. Now, this actually goes very well with the weekly reading that I have done for this week as well. And if you would like to read the reading or listen to the reading, I will have a link at the end of this video. But basically, what this is saying is that very much in the sense of the perfect timing that we have at this moment for creating the life that we want and to step into that field of dreams that basically you were entitled to. You're entitled to creating that life that you've wanted for yourself, no matter what. And I urge you to not look at everything that is around you, because I know that if you look at that thinking, oh my God, how's that ever going to happen in this world that's coming up, or am I even going to have freedoms and etc. Forget about that. Just don't look at it. Look at your own self within and what it is that you want for your life, for your particular situation and your families. And say, you know what? I really want abundance. Who doesn't, right? I want abundance. I want security. I want freedom. And I want a roof over my head. And I want to be happy. Now, all of those things are absolutely entitled to you. Absolutely. Some of those things you already have. Be in gratitude for it, and you will receive more. You do, or the bulk of us have a roof over our heads. And even though it may not be exactly the way you want it, it's still a roof over your heads. And you may have food that is there for you. Be prepared as well by having extra food if you need to, cans, whatever it is that is necessary for, for anything that might come up. Who knows? But some of us have a pantry, so we can actually put things in there. In other words, I'm saying that we already have abundance. The type of abundances that we want, we can always create and always recognize that you have it. So every time you recognize with gratitude that you have it, you have more. So this is the beautiful thing about the cycles of the universe, the way the universe works. The full moon comes in to say, okay, I want to let go of some of these things. I don't need some of these items, say, for example, in my home, or I don't need this kind of thinking. I don't need to have the kind of negative emotions that I've been feeling either for myself or for others or for the environment that I'm in or for the world or whatever it is. I need to let these go. The best way to do it is through a ritual ceremony, which I think is absolutely fabulous. Write down the things you don't want and burn it wherever you can. Just basically burn that. And what happens is anything that you're letting go, that energy, and believe me, you have energy when you write, like when I'm saying printing or writing into a piece of paper. Don't use a computer, write. That energy from your body goes right through into that paper. And when you burn it, you literally are burning and getting rid of the energy that is there that is saying, okay, you know what? I don't need this stuff. And you do have the energy when you're writing it too. If you're angry, you're going to write that with anger. Then that energy goes into the universe and is transmuted, which means changed, just like an alchemical process, into something more conducive for you, which is love. We are born out of love, and we receive love when things like that happen, when we perform that alchemical process in order to receive it. So it's a great way of letting go and then receiving that beautiful energy. That is another way of actually being in service, because as beings of light, which we all are, our souls want to be in service. We let go of the things that don't that are trapped around us, and we are there to be as a sponge and absorb the love that comes down to us. So this week can be very trying when you look at the outer parts of life, and if it seeps into the inner part of your life, go within, ask yourself what you want in your life. Ask yourself and allow for that intuition to come out. Write it down. Write down things that you don't want and let go. Write down things that you do want. And you can also let that go by burning it, because it also brings that energy to you even that much faster. Make sure to have gratitude in your life, and you will receive. These are such potent times for energy. And I want to let you all know that I have love in my heart for each and every one of you. I do feel very much for each and every one of you. And I know that we're all having a tough time. But in this case, we're all in it together. It's not as though one person has more than another in a lot of ways. Yes, maybe some things in the way of money or prestige or whatever, but we all are souls that are together. We're all angels of light that are together. And I want to tell you that I love you very much. I thank you so much for watching. And if you feel called to, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I really do hope that you enjoy this full moon, and I will see you again. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.